Welcome to The Growth Line, a podcast by the Association for Talent Development Maryland chapter. This is your go-to spot for talent and learning talk with a Maryland twist. Our name is inspired by Maryland's nickname, the Old Line State, but here it's all about drawing new lines in growth and development. Each episode will talk with leaders, learning professionals, and innovators shaping the future of talent development and discuss what's shaping the workforce in our region. Hello, ATDers. Welcome to today's episode of The Growth Line. My name is Diana Decatur, and I am the VP of Communications at ATD Maryland.
Hi and welcome. I am Wanda Aaronley. I am the VP of Program, and we're excited to have with us tonight Sandra Ugol. She is the VP of Learning and Development at Kelly Benefits, and we are excited to find out what's going on in the world of talent development in Maryland. And Sandra, our first question to you is, what's one strategy or tool that's made a real difference in your learning or talent development work this year?
So I think one of the things, of course, AI is a big word in many ways across every industry, but in learning and development in particular, it is both from a learner perspective and an instructional designer perspective. So at Kelly Benefits, we set about at the end of last year of experimenting and piloting as many tools as we could to enhance the learner experience. So one that we've used a lot recently is called Beyond, which has some great avatars, and we can do some deep fake work without it being deep fake to make the experience different. And we are seeing really positive feedback. But I would say we're now using about 11 different packages to produce materials for our learners in a way that meets them in unique ways.
Now that's interesting. Just to follow on, I've heard different reactions to the AI avatars in our e-learning and in a micro-learning space. What reaction are you getting from the learners?
So that's a really great question. The very first time that we launched it, we didn't do a prelude. We just did it for a company-wide training. And about midway through, we said, we hope you notice that we are using avatars for some of this work. And then the feedback kind of came back, oh, we thought there were some unique things that we saw, or kind of the mannerisms or the voices were a little different. But it has been a very positive response since. One of the things, we are unique in our L&D environment because we have mostly material that's developed in-house because we have proprietary software. And so we're constantly developing. So our ability to iterate quickly is really impacted. And of course, everybody loves that. The more you can show the ROI to the team and the business, the more they appreciate it.
Awesome.
Great, and I know that's really interesting, especially with the online learning modules. I know I was working on a project last week, and they sent me 50 voices to listen to, and which voice do you like the best, and which is the perfect voice for this training. So I'd never actually had to select a voice actor before. I just always said, whatever the team thinks is best. So it was my first time getting asked that question by my design team, and it's interesting. Some of them sound like robots and some of them don't, and I don't know how that's possible.
You'll find the ones that we tend to go back to this one voice called Andrew quite often.
Yeah.
We like Andrew. But you'll also find it's all about how does the AI say particular words that you need in your training. So you may find that it does not say certain things particularly well. Like we have a proprietary software that is client-facing called KTBS Online. It is very hard to find a voice that will say it the way a human would. And so, we have to make adaptations and things like that. So learning how to prepare your script and your document that feeds in for the voice is also equally a skill.
Oh, absolutely. And I know one of the other things that we really liked about using the AI technology was it allowed us to do a little bit more diversity with our training as well. So we were able to pick certain voices and certain looks of, certain people with accents, and this person sounds like they're from the South, or this person sounds like they're the UK, or
Absolutely.
this person sounds like they're from India. So it really created a more robust and diverse training for us. So.
And we had a client that had a request. Typically, we're doing internal training, but we also do client training from our team. And they had a request for us to do some work in Spanish. And we did not have a person at that particular time that could do this training. And so we were able to use the AI voice to help us develop a video for that client, which we would not have been able to do without it. So
that's so cool.
Yeah, one of the AI avatars that I use, I just sat into one of their updates, and they already had the ability to change languages, but the mouth movements were different, and so it was very apparent. But in their update, they do a better job of changing the mouth movement so it's not creepy, which is something I've heard in creating some of my AI learning avatars. So that's interesting.
And the technology is moving so fast. They're updating constantly, and it's getting better and better. At the same time, there are plenty of pitfalls too. So you have to really be editing strongly, making sure it matches the brand that you're looking for from your L&D brand and your company brand, if that's appropriate.
Yeah, absolutely. I think also with how quickly the technology is moving, just like Wanda said, something you have to be able and open to going back to it. AI is not one of those things you can try once and say, well, I didn't like it or it didn't work then, because 2 weeks later an update has been made or a change has happened, and now it's functioning the way you wanted it to function in the first place. I think that's great. Great. Well, I think we want to move over to our next topic, which is all about, I think, engaging with our team. So, Sandra, can you tell us a little bit about how you're engaging with your team in the L&D space? How are you encouraging them to network? And what are you guys seeing just with the space, just either here in Maryland or overall in L&D?
So tonight on my way here, we had a little team meeting before I left the office, and I was like, I'm headed to the ATD meeting tonight, and you guys really need to get out there. And so I have a diverse team spread across a couple of regions, and so that's important that they do it in their local community. And so I really benefit from coming to the face-to-face things, but I also benefit from the coffee chat that we had a couple of weeks ago. I think getting to know your peers so that at a time when you have a question and you need a lifeline, you can go to someone. So I have two newer to the profession team members who we sent to a conference out in Vegas called DevLearn. And so they really benefited. They came back very excited.
Energized.
Energized. I am engaged in January. I'm going to the conference for NAILS, which is, I think, this year in California. And that's really more for leadership roles. But I think the more that you get out in your community and get to know others, the more that you can impact the work. But I think you are impacted twice as much. So, coming tonight and being involved with whatever kinds of activities, webinars, keeps you engaged.
Yeah. And, professional organizations just keep you abreast of the diversity of those who are in the L&D space, talent development space, whatever you call it, instructional design. You see the linkages, right, and how different companies do it differently in the areas that they pull in, and of course the ever-present how AI is being used in that organization. So the networking, like I said, it energizes you to be in the room with others and just to hear where you're not the lone voice. Because I know a lot of people sometimes they are a team of one when it comes to L&D and talent development. So it just energizes you in the work that you do.
That was one of the surprising things when I started getting more engaged, was we're all facing the same challenges. And so the more that you have a group of people around you facing that challenge to brainstorm with, because sometimes you can't do it in your own environment. Maybe there aren't enough other creatives in your environment to be able to engage with, Or potentially, maybe you don't want to talk with your team about it if you're the leader. And so having others to go to is super important.
Yeah, I agree. This has been a great conversation, Sandra. Thank you for bringing us these insights, letting us know what you're doing at Kelly and just the importance of networking, because I think it's not just where you are.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. So thank you so much for being a guest on the Growth Line. We're excited and grateful to talk to you.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity to talk with all of you tonight. Have a great time.
Great. Thanks, everyone, and we'll see you next episode.
This has been The Growth Line, an ATD Maryland podcast.